Hey, what is up, friend and fellow Antinetter? Wow, it has been quite some time since I've done a YouTube video. And I'll get into the reasons why in just a little bit. In brief, I've been very busy. I decided to just pull out my camera and shoot this, unprofessionally, no production quality or value video for you because I have been on a Friday behind the scenes writing out by hand and doing AKD, which is analog knowledge development, which craps all over quote unquote PKM and those digital bubble graph boys of Obsidian and all those frauds and fakers who loom around and hang out in the Zettelkasten Reddit community, and all they do is like write gibberish and long diarrhea type of posts about metadata conventions and tags, and like literally not one of them has actually written a book or created anything of value. I, Sir Scott Scheper, want to show you what Zettelkasten, the real Zettelkasten, really looks like behind the scenes. And before I get into it, what I'm going to show you, which is right over here, and what I have been doing today, I want to give you an update on what has been keeping me so busy. As you may know, I write an analog monthly newsletter called the Scott Scheper Letter. I write one thing a month. Here's some of my yellow legal pads in which I write them out. Here are some of them. And I've created an insane body of work over the past year. And I literally have been busy, with writing one thing a month by hand and sending out an analog monthly newsletter, okay? And then also, I have been, selling my book, Antinet Zettelkasten, which if you look in the online forums or, anywhere else, like, Zettelkasten Reddit, which is basically a hijacked fraud, I call it flaccid Kasten. It's like a bunch of digital, linking your thinking Obsidian bubble graph boys just farting around and circle jerking themselves to like, comments and crying on each other's shoulders over like imposter syndrome. Okay, so if you want to actually produce knowledge and make a fantastic killer living, then I think you might want to follow some crazy guy that's released a book called Antinet Zettelkasten and has, over the past 12 months, generated this much money. So this is kind of why I've been quiet and what I've been up to. If you can see here's my Stripe account. Okay, this is just one of my payment processor accounts. We can zoom in here. If you could see this, it says, last 12 months, I've generated $2.33 million from a teeny tiny book, called Antinet Zettelkasten. Sales are exploding. Like I'm doing now, this doesn't even include my PayPal account. Here's like the last 4 weeks, I've done $271,000. This year so far, it's like, we're halfway through February. How much have I made this year to date? Let's see here. $463,000 from a teeny tiny book called Antinet Zettelkasten, right? Which is freaking insane and crazy. And, again, this doesn't include I'm doing this every single month, about over $400,000. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because, if you want to also make a fantastic killer living as an independent writer, creator, and thinker, someone that just like reads and writes all day and takes analog Zettelkasten type of notes and then also makes, $10,000 to $20,000 per month, then I would like to present to you, just go to my website, writetofreedom.com, okay? And you can learn more, okay? So I'm not gonna shill any of that anymore. I'm just telling you, that's like literally, I have no reason to make these freaking YouTube videos anymore, for free for you guys on Antinet Zettelkasten and stuff, because I'm just literally just writing one thing a month, and then I go down the research and rabbit holes of first century Judean, Galilean, Galilee, Judea history, or first century Palestine history, and reading all these books and just writing one thing a month and keeping my head down, making over $400,000 a month from a teeny tiny book called Antinet Zettelkasten. And anyway, here's what I've been doing today. You would think a guy that like makes, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from his knowledge business would just like be like laser focused on running that business and, optimizing ads and doing all that stuff. But no, that's like not why I got into doing business in the first place. I don't want to freaking run a business. I just want to freaking do this all day, okay? So I'm going to share with you kind of what this is, just a brief version. I'm going to be writing about this in detail in like, every single card in the upcoming issue of the Scott Scheper Letter. And, in case you haven't seen it, there's the old Antinet. His name is Stewie because he's world takeover mode. And anyway, here's what I have. Every single one of these is from bib cards, okay, from a specific book, okay, like this one. Here are all the books down here, okay? So I've read the books, taken bib cards, and then what I do is there's a specific process I go through in which I review all of them and then extract a common thread and then use that common thread to shape a very dense and deep form of content and knowledge that I then, essentially write and create. And I do this every single week quietly. Now, I can't get into if I had to get into the details of how I actually do this, it would take me probably an hour and a half. And I frankly want to get home to my wife and 5-month-old baby. So I'm not going to do that for you. However, if you are a subscriber, and many of you are, of the Scott Scheper Letter, my analog monthly newsletter, then you're going to see a step-by-step, how this is done. I just want to show you the behind the scenes so that when you see this diagrammed and detailed out, and I probably this month will include snapshots of this, actual physical screenshots, not just diagrams, then you can, you're going to be able to see all this. But for those of you that are subscribers, I wanted to at least share this. This is what it looks like, okay? Because I've been literally for the past, 3 hours behind the scenes on a Friday, at least 3 hours, doing some knowledge dev work, analog knowledge dev work. And we're going to get into all of this in the upcoming issue of the Scott Scheper Letter. So anyway, hope all is well, my fellow YouTuber watchers, and peace and love. And that's pretty much it. So have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Peace.